Hey guys, I'm Dayr,
And I'm Damos.
and this is our talk show, where we talk about the latest games and news on the market or whatnot on the market. So anyway, we'll get straight to the point. Our first piece of news today is going to be Path of Exile and what's been happening in it. So Damos, you
So,
can lead this one.
yeah, most successful expansion launched since the release of the game. Pretty big news for Grinding Gear Games.
But people will
Um,
argue that that's not the best.
I am one of them personally. I preferred Conquerors. I thought it was a much better.
I prefer Cassie's League.
That's a league, not an expansion,
It's
though.
still the same thing. Content.
No, yeah, they release content every 3 months, but this is an actual expansion on their content.
Fair enough. But anyway, carry on.
But yeah, personally, doing the Ritual League, pretty fun. Maven is not your friend.
No, no, Maven
I
is
will
not your
say
friend.
Maven is
I'm only six down, about to start my seventh down on Maven, and yeah, I've seen where you are, and you're like what 10 down?
manly tears. Manly tears. That's the only way I can describe my experience of this expansion. Manly tears have been shed.
Yeah,
Not one, not twice. Pretty much sure I'm a crippled raisin at this point.
yeah. I've seen some of the stuff. So like, what do you think of like the new unit types that have come to the game in the tier 15 maps that you were talking about last night?
Oh, that they're broken. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, Sirius used to be the end game boss of the Atlas, which is when you get to the end game of
Yeah, I remember him.
what's called Maven.
Nasty bugger.
Um, so, in their infinite wisdom, they decided, well, people don't. He kind of comes out of nowhere. How can we introduce him a little bit earlier? We'll give random mobs in your maps his abilities, and I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll make them tanky as all hell. And yeah, death beams, and you'll occasionally hear him scream in the background. "Hey." And I am one that likes to follow orders, so of course my character just drops dead immediately on the spot.
And if you have seen us play Path of Exile, you know that Damos' character is literally a flick of light and he's either gone killing shit or he is dead. And if he's
I'm
dead, I
exactly
run.
what.
It's like a bubble, I'm out of here. But anyway, we'll move on for that and we'll talk about the new big upcoming game that most people seem to be talking about, which is Outriders.
Ooh.
Yeah. And if you don't know what Outriders is, guys, it's an interesting game. Oh, Damos, you can explain this one. What is Outriders?
So, Outriders, in my opinion, is a three-player co-op version of Remnant with a more looter shooter aspect to it.
Yeah, that's what I think
Remnant
as
had
well.
quite a lot of like find random loot in the generated worlds it made, but this is more Diablo Path of Exile esque. Like you kill a bunch of mobs, a bunch of weapons will drop. You get the biggest one that does upgrades for you. So yeah, it seems like a nice mix of that post-apocalyptic feel of Remnant with more of a faster-paced combat setting.
Hmm.
Um,
See, well, a lot of the issues that I have fear for this game, it is only three-player co-op, right? But that did succeed in Remnant from the Ashes, which, like you said, is it, and we both played it. We played it to death. It was a great game. But free player in today's market, you got Apex, you've got things like that. They're all free player, but it feels limited in who the fuck runs with only three friends? I have like a shit ton, and you have a shit ton, and everybody has a shit ton of friends, but free, you know?
I get the feeling three is their magic number because as much as you might have multiple friends playing the game, it allows, like, say a bunch of them is working, a bunch of them are unavailable. Three players seems a very manageable number to get together, especially with COVID, more people going on to online gaming, Discord being as big as it is. You're bound to be able to get three players, whereas I think you kind of push it a bit to try and get four players on at the same time.
Yeah.
I think that's why a lot of companies are referring to it as their magic number for co-op. Two is too little because you don't get enough ability mix between two players. Four becomes a bit difficult for those people that aren't as sociable or don't have communities online.
Yeah.
Whereas three players is their magic number. So I get the
Well,
feeling
that's
that's why
fair
people.
then, because like, well, it's a Trinity system, tank, DPS,
Yeah.
healer, you know, which is always a bonus and good to have. The only thing that I have concerns about is how's it going to play at endgame. We've seen Marvel Avengers come from Square Enix recently, and that was an absolute. So
Well, put it this way: the first video I watched in Outriders, like the first time I actually went online, went to YouTube, and looked at a video for it, was them doing the discussion on Endgame. So they seem to have Endgame very much in mind before the game's even released, which I think is a step in the right direction.
that has to be,
We're
yeah.
gonna be like, we have our campaign's solid, but before we release it, when you hit the end of that campaign, we have plans, like we have things in place already before you get there. So not as much as a concern because they're already putting out content relating to that.
Yeah.
But if there's not enough of it, or if the difficulty spike, like Path of Exile,
Oh god, I love the
Like, just
difficulty
on the-
spike.
it's not a difficulty spike in Path of Exile, it's a difficulty cliff. You go through the campaign like it's nothing,
And then you fall off the cliff.
and then
You don't get to the cliff.
well,
You don't climb the cliff. You're coming from the top of the cliff and going, ah! And that's the end of that. You're dead. Unless you learn quick.
the advantage Path of Exile has with that cliff though is they released it with what 2 chapters when the game first came out. So people knew the game and knew the mechanics before they hit that mapping part of the game where they could be really like, my build was broken because I could destroy everything within a couple of hits.
Yep.
I now know exactly what I'm doing. If they're releasing this at launch and people are going in fresh, you're either going to get people saying, it's too easy, I'm hitting like this endgame content.
Or it's too hard, please nerf.
It's too hard, and it's because they don't know how to optimize their builds yet because it's a new game. Because you know people will get to end game, have an unoptimized build because they've been able to carry themselves through campaign with doing what they're doing, and then they're going to complain that it's too difficult. And then you'll get the hardcore community that hopefully kind of latch onto it if that is the way they go with it, and they'll have optimized builds, and they'll be like, what are you talking about? This game is amazing.
So from what I've seen of Outriders, it looks absolutely outstanding. And I can't wait to get my hands on the 25th beta. It's the 25th of February, all platforms. So it should be quite interesting anyway. So I actually have that notification on our Discord. So where is it?
Yeah,
so
he's watching, wants to join in.
yeah, feel free. We're always ready to play. We usually do like a 4-on-4 off, me and Damos, so work and life. But when we're together, you're more than welcome to join in. The Outriders demo will be a bit.
Bring up the next topic.
Hold
I
up.
was going to say, let me bring up the next topic.
Fine. I will stick that in the description below. Right, go on.
Bex, new season. What's your thoughts?
Oh, Fuse?
Yeah. New characters.
Yes.
Do we think there's going to be another new map, or do we think they're going to be changing Olympus?
Well, from what I've seen in that video, and if any of you guys haven't seen the video, we will put a little one right here in a second. And it's pretty interesting. So it looks like Kings Canyon gets an absolute beating. A lot of stuff is gone. But we see a new character come to the mix. Possibly 2 new characters come to the mix.
I just want to jump in here. I am tempted to say they might do what they did with Remnant.
Yeah, that's true. We think it's going to be Fuse, but it's not.
Oh no, I mean, we'll get Fuse this time,
Uh-huh.
but later they're going to introduce her as like the rivalry for Fuse.
Well, didn't she say she's going to shut down the games?
Mate, come on, Crypto's still in the game. He's been trying that since day one.
Well, anyway, we'll be live with Apex Legends Season 8 on its release here on Dayr Live. Will be me and Damos on that one. That'll be absolutely brilliant. And as always, we'll try and dominate the matches. Maybe me, probably not him.
Amazing. Power sliding, taking out squads by myself. I don't jump off the map.
My back's actually still sore from the last time we played.
Oh, for all that fucking carry, aye.
But anyway, so Apex Legends, it does look really good, especially the new season. I would like to see some new max-ups, some new weapon types as well come to the game. The game really needs something to keep up with the dying trade of what is.
Still going on about this. Still going on about this pistol that you want.
I want my smart pistol, okay?
Mm.
It must come to the game. Alright, so next up is Scavengers. Now, Scavengers is a similar game to what we've been talking about prior. What was it? The dropship one. God, Outriders. So it is a free player, but this one is more of a battle royale than everything else that we keep seeing that's coming out.
No, I know you've got high hopes for this game.
I do.
You've talked about this game a lot, but I just feel it's hitting the same market as that Pioneer game that came out in Epic, and
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that.
they seem very similar in that you go to areas, you capture resources, you work together as a squad, you take out the other squad. They seem to have the very, very similar like squad dynamics, and we've seen the Pioneer game went nowhere.
Yeah, true. But if you don't know what Scavengers is, guys, Scavengers is a wasteland game, basically strategic shooter. Squad of 3 players face survival in a sandbox snowy map, and it is really good. I have tried it, but it is a taste that must be acquired. It is a third-person shooter. It is a looter. It is, like Damos said, one of these games that might not go anywhere because we've seen it all before. But yeah, carry on, Damos.
Personally, when I first had it like pop to me, I thought it was a game very much like Scum. It was you're a character, you're surviving in like a wasteland area that's very snowy, very cold, and you were going to be an actual scavenger. And then it came out that it was this battle royale game.
Yeah.
I didn't look into it, and I don't know, like having my expectations dashed before I'd even looked into or played the game kind of affected me, and it got me a little bit jaded towards it. I mean, it could come out and it could be an absolutely fantastic game, but it'll depend on a lot of things. Because there are similar games, it's going to have a wow factor. It's either going to have to be the way that weapons hit and work, because I mean, when you go to games like PUBG compared to Apex, you know how you get that very different.
Oh, the huge vibe, huge vibe. Yeah.
So it's going to have something that makes people go, this is a game, when I'm playing this style of game, this is the one I pick. And I think we're going to need to wait in the launch to see if they achieve that, at least. That's just my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, that's fair, fair. And to be honest, that's also how I feel right now with New World. And with New World being like the new big MMO that's due out this year from Amazon Games, I'm excited for it. I'm really interested for it, but at the same time, I have the fear it's going to be trash. You know, and like every game that's come out in the last few years that has been an MMO, you need a select taste to enjoy these games. Like for example, I can't even think of any that's still alive.
Well, World of Warcraft will always go.
But World of Warcraft, that's not even mentioned in the MMO world because it's too good. It is the MMO. I'm trying to think of like
really is.
I'm trying to think of like a game that an MMO that came out in the last few years that is, well, what, Wildstar maybe? No, Guild Wars 2.
Died.
New World is supposedly like Guild Wars 2 in the sense of like, but they've changed so much that nobody knows which is actually going to be in it. And if you do know, leave a comment below. Let us know what the fuck's in New World, because the last time we both tested the pre-view thing, I really enjoyed it. He hated it. So
I just felt that it was doing nothing different from don't get me wrong, I am in a position in my life where I'm like, I would love a new MMO.
yeah, you and me
When
both.
World of Warcraft came out, I got engrossed in it. I played many MMOs. Burnout happened, and I think it happened to like almost the MMO playing community. We got older, we had burnout from it, but I get the feeling that we've now hit a point where it's like, I could sink some time into MMO, lockdowns in place, I got loads of time at home. But I was playing it and I was like, this is doing nothing new. Like, there is nothing that I'm doing in this game that I haven't done in 100 other games that I've tried or played or sunk into. Like, I could see myself playing the game for like 2 months and then be like, I'm done. That's it. Unless
It's
it's all
possible it could be like that.
really unique.
So for me, like I checked it out, and I checked it out pretty in depth. The character systems, the gameplay mechanics, the crafting, and I didn't really get to end game because obviously it's a hell of a grind. I don't want to do that over and over again in like the preview builds. But what I did play, I really enjoyed, and it felt awesome. But who knows? You know, and with Amazon recently, their games have went downhill. Crucible, and what was that other one?
Was Crucible the one that got launched and then
Yeah, it was like a MOBA type thing.
and then they were like, no, we're not doing this anymore?
Yeah, it released on Steam, had so many issues, they took it off Steam, and they moved everybody to New World. But anyway, the big one, which is Star Wars. Yeah? Well, you know it's coming. You don't want to talk about it. I do. Okay, so Star Wars. First one is the Knights of the Old Republic is being remade without BioWare. Think it's true, false? Think this is bogus news?
I don't know. Licenses have moved around so much recently with Star Wars that absolutely that could be a thing. If it happens, more power to the new company that's picking up that, because big boots to fill. If it's not true, I don't think MD would be particularly surprised.
Yeah. But at the same time,
Calling out
Massive just takes the contract for another Star Wars game too. And this is the looter shooter type things, because everything we've seen from Massive recently with Division 1, Division 2, the Avatar project that they're working on, you know, the graphics are good, the gameplay's good, but there's no content. And the content that is there is spaced out so far and spread so thin that it becomes really boring really quickly. So, what do you think? Star Wars, Massive.
Massive is an interesting company, and I think it depends how they choose to do the game. We're going to need more information before I can make any opinion on it.
Which is fair enough.
Potential to be good, but it could also just be another mediocre game added to the game library that I'll pick up in like 20 years.
No, so for that is like, yeah, you and me both. I think I'm like 1,500 deep in that catalog now. Anyway, with that, why is there no Star Trek games coming out?
Absolutely, 100%.
Who's going to pick up a decent Star Trek thing? I would love a state-of-the-art graphics with Star Trek.
I mean, we've got Star Trek Online and we've got Star Trek Bridge Commander.
Yeah, which are not...
They
are good, but...
games before.
Yeah. But they're good, but they're outdated. You know, they're spread thin jam. You know, like look at STO. Me and one of my viewers, Smoke, went back and played it. Both of us have played the game extensively. I loaded it up, checked out my Rear Admiral ship, went... Yeah, So, what else is on Steam? You know, and it's just not interesting anymore.
See, I get the idea with Star Wars that people like the universe and there are individual stories to be told. Like we got that. What was the last
Old Republic?
Or
no, you're talking about God, Jedi Order. Is it something Order?
Last Order.
Last Order. That was an amazing game.
Was it
Finished that at the hardest end. So proud.
I mean, it came out and it was kind of like that individual story within the universe, and I feel Star Trek has like quite the expanded universe. I mean, there's hundreds of areas of unknown space. That's the one thing I always feel is lacking in Star Wars. I feel there's no exploration to be had. Like almost everything has been discovered.
Yep.
There's also no like development. I mean, they made the Death Star. I mean, you can't really compete when your technology level.
Hold up.
Stars.
Hold the phone, sir. Just so you know, there's many different places in Star Wars. There's not just that one galaxy. There's multiple empires, bro.
like they never talk about them or do anything particularly with them, and I feel like Star Trek always did the whole. It was a show about
It's a bunch of bibbling idiots that just want to fly a spaceship.
I want to be a bibbling idiot flying a spaceship. That's what I need in my life. I want.
I'll buy you a spaceship game.
Ship.
You don't need to be Star Trek.
Starfleet has given you a ship. There is an unknown quadrant of space. Go out there and find us stuff, and I'll be like, yes, yes, I will. Away I go.
But imagine they did it like what was that space game that came out which was impossible to dock? Do you remember?
Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, imagine they did Star Trek like Elite Dangerous with that title of graphic set gameplay.
This is the one aspect of space games that I always feel is lacking. Like
Randomized universe?
No, not even that. Not the No Man's Sky thing. Although No Man's Sky gets the closest to it than any other game, I feel space has to be interesting, but planets also have to be interesting.
Yes, I agree.
Like Outer Worlds, planets really interesting, but you never do anything in space. You just tell yourself what sector you want to go to. There's no anomalies or anything like that out there. It's just you go from point A to point B, and it's essentially your next level is the next world. And then you've got games like Elite Dangerous. Space is really interesting, but then there's no planet side of things.
Yeah.
Everything they've added is like you land and it's a big barren planet. Fabulous.
Didn't they update that stuff? Anyway, that's for another topic. But yeah, Star Trek. Why is there no Star Trek games?
Give me one now. Like right now.
We want to hear about it, guys. Star Trek games. Okay. And I think that is us for this week. So 21 minutes, not bad. We did it less than last time.
Woohoo!
All right. Well, anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that little bell notification, and of course the thumbs up. And we'll see you next week. I'm Dayr.
Yeah.
That's Damos.
Damos.
Later.
My outro.
No, I will steal your name.
Right, need it.
All right, guys. Bye.